Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCraft.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I live and work in Scotland. Today I am filming my project for Stamparound UK 1st of August, and our theme today is 3D, three-dimensional. So once you've watched my project, please go down into the description box below and see what all the other lovely demonstrators have done. You'll get links to all of their videos in the description box below. And we do appreciate your support. We appreciate some positive comments, some thumbs ups. It all helps us to keep our videos seen by everyone. Keep doing what you're doing, or if you aren't already, please do subscribe. Please do press the bell icon to get notification when I'm coming on again, and please leave some positive encouragement around. Sprinkle some encouragement around. Okay, so 3D. I was looking at these papers, and I'm not the only one that's thought it. In discussion with other demonstrators and on other people's lives, we decided that some of these papers, the Full of Life papers, made us think of a Rubik's Cube. So I've actually decided to make a gift box that would be suitable probably for a teenager or a child, and to make it look like a Rubik's Cube. Just a bit of fun. I'm not sure if I'm using this silver ribbon, but I put it out anyway. So, and the attention shoppers, just probably for a tag to go with the gift box. Now, so I wanted to make it a cube, so what I did was I had a look at the paper and measured off what a square of 3x3 of the cubes in this paper would measure, and I've chopped some out for my cube. Of what papers I had left, I've actually used quite a bit of that pack, so and I've got some bits for a tag, but let's make the box first. Now, you may be able to see that I've got one square that is slightly smaller than the other. And that is the secret. This is the base and that's the lid. So the lid is 1/16 of an inch bigger than the base all around. You will see if I pop that right to the side there, you'll see there's a gap round. So the lid, I'm actually just going to write on this lid as well, because I'm going to be popping paper, sticking paper over the top anyway. So what I'm looking for is a 2.5 inch cube. So 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 equals 7.5. So the lid is a 7.5 inch square. And the base, where did I? Oh, I've already, is this is this I needed to write base? I'd already written that on there. I have a rubber. Whoops. I don't need lid on both sides. Okay, so yeah, so the lid is 7.5 inches square. The base is 7.5 minus 1/16, so it's 7 7/16. I know it's a difficult measurement, but it is worth the effort to get that right. So I am going to bring in my score tool, Simply Scored, Now it's really easy the way that this will go together is I just need to score both pieces at 2.5 inches all the way round. Whoops, so that's a bit of a wobble there. 2.5. Whoops, I'm really not doing well today. I do fine when I'm not sharing. As soon as I switch the video on to share, I start making errors. Right, base scored at 2.5, and the lid scored at 2.5 all the way around. And then doing it this way, you know that the measurement is exactly the same. We'll pop the score tool out of the way. And a simply scored board does come with this ball tool, and it clips. I never showed you that. Well, I was showing you it. The score tool clicks in to the bottom of the board, which is very useful. And you will find the score tool in the annual catalogue. Okay, so where is my bone folder? Okay, I'm needing to give this a bit of a clean again. I've been cleaning up some of my tools, but I haven't got around to my bone folders yet. I don't know about you, but everything in my craft desk gets gooey with glue because I use wet glue for almost everything. I do have tape runners. I've got Seal Plus, and I've got double-sided tape, which I do use from now and again. So that's scored and burnished, and then we'll just score and burnish the base. It's actually a simple cube. A 2.5 inch cube is basically what we're going to end up with, roughly. Right, so now I need my snips, which I clearly haven't put ready. I did give these a wipe over because I was filming yesterday and I did a lot of gluing, so I did give them these a wipe over. Right, so let's just concentrate, Janice. Right, so I'm going to cut up that score line to the first score line. So, and then turn it around 90 degrees. No, that's 180 degrees, Janice. To the opposite side and do the same thing again. Up the score line. So we'll do the same on the lid. Right, so now we need to go round to the flaps, and we're cutting them down to probably a little less than half. I'm not measuring it. Just, So you're probably cutting it down to approximately 1 inch there. It really doesn't matter because it's going these are not going to be seen, but I don't want to leave them the full size because it would just create too much bulk, and then there'd be no way that the lid would fit over the base or anything. So right, so I've now got that, and I'm going to go into each one of the flaps and wedge it on either side like that. It just makes for a neater finish when you stick it all together. So there, you should end up with something that looks like that. And we do exactly the same with the base. So just go round. Probably leaving about 1/3 of the flap on. It's really just a glue flap, so it's... So of course we'll pop these aside, and I'm sure those scraps will get used for something. Right, and then the same as we did on the other part. Just want to make sure that that is all the way to the corner. The 1st of August already. An exciting bit for demonstrators is this week we can do our pre-order for the winter mini catalogue, September to December, or yeah, or September to January, I think, probably. Mini catalogue. I'm just getting rid of all these wee bits and popping them in the bin because you know my track record. Right. And now we'll see if we can get some. So what I need to do before I start constructing it is to put the designer series paper on. So let's just we want to put a piece on the base there. So base gets 1. And so I've cut 6. For all the sides of our cube, so we put 1 on the base, and that's that, and then on the lid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's stick them down. So it's just a bit of fun. And as I said, I'd come from... Actually, to be truthful, I think it was Jay Soriano from Matuso Crafts. When he was making some absolutely beautiful cards using this paper, and I think it was actually him that said, does this remind you of a Rubik's Cube? And I think everybody said yes. I mean, I had already thought that, But it was what made me start to think, maybe you could make an actual cube. And then I was like, oh, I've got 3D challenge coming up. So yeah, the paper is called Full of Life, and it's a 6x6, and it's just glorious and lovely colours. I hope you quite like the simplicity of this. And because the lines between the squares were white, that's what made me think of just making a quite simple white cube. And that's it, really, for the paper. And now it just is a matter of gluing it together. So this is the lid, isn't it? I put the glue on so it can become a bit tacky, but when you do it that way, you have to be a bit careful what you're doing. So just take each corner slowly and just make sure that it's nice and straight. Your tab in, and because I've cut the wedges in the glue tabs, you find that mostly it all just comes together quite nicely. Right, okay. I'll just do it one at a time or we'll get oh, she's always coming undone, this girl. Just maybe hold it just a bit longer if you're not filming. Just hold it a bit longer at each corner until the glue really grips. And once you're happy, just go in with your bone folder and just make sure that your glue is. I probably, you know, with hindsight, should have done the base first and then made sure that the lid can go over, but you know, I'm quite confident. Famous last words. Now if you wanted to put paper on here as well, you could. You just then risk the chance of it not all fitting together snugly. This is not really going to be seen, so just take your time. Then we need some glue on these bits. Do be firm with the paper. If it doesn't want to do what you want it to do, you can coax it firmly. I'm just lingering on this piece that wee bit longer to give that glue that moment, so that when I pop this one in, it doesn't all fall apart. So again, just nice and snug. And then again, just in with your bone folder, just to make sure that all bits. Now the moment of truth. Did her measurements work? Yes, they did. How magic is that? There's my Rubik's Cube. Isn't that just a bit of fun? Especially if you've got some young people in your family. So, can she take it apart? Probably just need your fingernails in there. And yes, you can take it apart. You could fill that with whatever you like. Sweeties, little wee games, stationery, bits and bobs. So I've got these wee offcuts of the paper. Oh gosh, I've got 3. I don't have room for 3, but I could choose two of them here. So I'm going to pop my sentiment, and I've got just for you. You could even actually put money in there if it was for a teenager, and then you could do the treat yourself, or shopping is always a good idea. So it's attention shoppers is this stamp set. It's a fun stamp set too. So I had the stamp here, and I've actually got, I don't know, I've got shaded spruce ink sitting on my desk. And there's quite a lot of green in there. I think there will be shaded spruce in one of the squares. In fact, possibly that one. See? So. Just for you. And I thought it might be quite fun to hide the message. So that's not the same size. I think I had 2 pieces. Or did I had one that I cut to the same size. But none of these are the same size. So have I used the wrong? Might need to trim that one down. 3.7 and 5.7. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is a bit on the big side. I didn't want to cut any of the writing off, so I was being. I remember now I was going to do it differently. That's why. And I've decided that. I know I was actually going to be sticking the square, just some of the squares on the back of that, I think. So I had left a white border, and I was just going to make my tag like that. But I've now thought it would be fun. I won't have that one, but where is it? I've got my crocodile tool here, which will punch a hole through the whole lot at once. Maybe shut the ink up, Janice, before you have a messy accident. So, let's see. So imagine I've popped some gifts in there. It could be crafty gifts, you know, anything you can pop in there. I don't actually have anything to hand at the moment. Even cosmetics or even jewellery wrapped in tissue would work there. And then I was thinking that if it is a gift, then we could just tie it up, couldn't we? But it would be better, Janice, if you did it the way. Oh my goodness. I'm challenging myself this morning when I'm filming this. And this silver trim is also in the annual catalogue. So I'm actually just thinking I might want to just put that about there. Just pop, oops, get under, go on, go under both. And that needs to go under there, doesn't it? And there. That'll do, just so that it doesn't all fall apart. You can faff about with it and make it flat. And then we can, got our wee tag. Could thread that on and then just tie another wee knot. I don't know if this will curl, I've not tried it out. Not really, it doesn't want to curl, not that direction anyway. No, let's make it worse. So you could keep enough to do a bow, or you could just trim off. And then you can always add more bits, or you could add another piece and tie a bow, just whatever. I'm just keeping it simple-ish. And then inside the tag, just for you, and you can write your message in there. So you have a kind of, you can splay that out, or you can just close them up. And there you have a lovely wee gift. So thank you very much for joining me for this project today, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.